Reading and note-taking. So, I recommend as you are reading, whether you are, whatever format you're using, I recommend taking some form of notes. Now, some people like sticky notes, some people like note cards, some people just like annotations, some people like, would like to do it digitally, so there's a Noodle Tools option. You might want to do it as an evidence chart. Ultimately, it doesn't matter to me which way you take notes. Some other classes, you might have a specific way of taking notes. As long as you're taking notes on what information you think is most important, information you think best helps you support or answer your question, that is what I would focus on, keeping track of that somewhere so you don't have to read through everything. I will say that if you are annotating on the PDFs themselves, don't highlight everything, because that's undoing the purpose here. The goal is to use what is your most specific evidence. So in my annotation example, for example, as it's loading, okay, I only have specific lines. So I have specific lines about research has emerged from the 1990s that still continues, having that heroin overdoses are predominantly polydrug. Looking at the term overdose is a catch-all term. Okay, so I've gone through, and in this particular sample, all of these green things will help me define the context of heroin as an epidemic problem, as a big problem. What are the difficulties with that? Okay, so some sources you might have multiple ideas. So as you're going through with your annotated bibliography and your, it's actually on your outline prep. So I'm going to go there for a second. Figuring out what are the main perspectives or stances. If you're not quite sure what your main topics could be as you're going through annotating, I suggest reading one source and seeing what are some different things. Are they talking cause? Are they talking effect? Are they just describing the problem? Are they describing solutions to the problem or theories about the issue? And kind of for each one of those terms, context, issue, or a different perspective, like a different stakeholder, I would have a different color. And then I can go in and I can sort the information. For the evidence chart, it's not really complete. But again, I would start with one source. What are some important pieces of information? Thinking about my annotated bibliography, how could I use them? Okay, your annotated bibliography, the annotations, you already have kind of an idea. So as you're annotating, as you're taking notes, whether it's on paper, note cards, whatever, you have some sort of idea of here's what I'm looking for this source. So you're not just going through all of the important things solely about the source. It kind of gives you a focus. And I would do that for each of my sources that I have, because that'll give me an idea of if I need more research or not. Because in theory, from my annotated bibliography, I already have an idea that the sources I am using, I'm planning, like I actually have a use for them. Okay, and then for this assignment, show me that you've read at least one of your sources, that you've at least done some sort of starting to figure out what you're going to write about.